Hello, this is section 7.1, rational expression and their simplification. So rational expression means this, you got fractions. So we got p of x over forms of fraction, q of x. But in here where p of x and q of x are the polynomial. So we already study how to simplify how to factor polynomial. And then in here, we're going to put the stacks of the polynomial, and then we're going to simplify by cancellation of the factors. So finding a number which is a rational expression is undefined. We set the denominator equal to 0. So in here, we're going to put the q of x equal to 0 and solve for x. How? We are using factoring. Okay. All right. So number 1, find all the numbers for which rational expression is undefined. If the rational expression is defined and all the real numbers, so state. All right. So we are looking for the number that makes the expression undefined case. Okay. So what's undefined means? Undefined means the something over 0. Okay, so this is always undefined. So it could be any number on numerator, but as long as the 0 in denominator, we call them undefined. So in order to find the undefined, you need to set the denominator, which is 4x plus 20 equal to 0. And then solve for x. Subtract 20, both sides, you got 4x equal to negative 20, divided by 4. So x equal to negative 5. So negative 5 makes the undefined case for this one. So if you plug it in, negative 5 times 4, negative 20 plus 20 equal to 0. For the b, you got the x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. But in order to find the solution for x, we need to factor it out. So factoring means this is a trinomial. Use the x factor. So 6 here, 5 here, x here, x here. And then find that this is 5 the sum. 2 number from the 6, which is 6 makes a 1 times 6, 2 times 3. And then as sum is a 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 here. So you got x plus 2 times x plus 3 equal to 0. And then you set the each factor equal to 0. And then subtract 2. So 1 is a negative 2. Subtract 3. The other one is negative 3. So that's another solution. Now, this is how you find this. And then the c, which is c is 2 is equal to 0, but never, right? There's no variable. So this case is actually there's no number makes undefined case. All right, so steps for the simplifying the rational expression. So I put down the steps. So number 1, factor numerator and denominator completely. And number 2, cancel all the common factors possible. And then leave the answers in the factor form. So I'm going to show it to you. So NA, first of all, we need to factor the both sides. But numerator, you can factor the GCF as a 4. And then you got x plus 6 left as a remaining factor. Then over 28x. 28x already factor form because it's a one term. And then we can see that we can cancel the 4 and 28. The 4 goes 28 7 times. Now you got x plus 6 over 7x. That's it. Do not even cancel the x though, okay? Because it's not on factors. And the b, okay, so, and let's do the d first this time, okay? All right, so next problem is x plus 1, which is x plus 2 is already the factor form. There's nothing you can do about this. So put the parenthesis. And then if you pulled out the 4 minus x squared, it's the same as, I need to put the descending power. And then if you factor out the negative, you got the x squared minus 4. And then x squared minus 4 is a factorial because difference of 2 squares. So it becomes x minus 2. So you got negative of x plus 2 times x minus 2. Then I see the common factor, which is this cancel. So nothing left means you can put 1 with a negative and then x minus 2. This is a better way to write the answers. All right, next page. Now I see B here. So in B, all right, now we need to factor the numerator. The numerator factor, we have to use the x factor, which is 5 and 6, and x. Okay, so 6 is a sum from the 5. So 5 has 1 times 5, so 1 and 5, right? So you got x plus 1 times x plus 5 over x plus 5, but that's a linear, so you can't factor. So you can cancel. It becomes x plus 1. And the c, you can also factor individually too, okay? So x squared plus 2x minus 15, you can use x factor to negative 15 and 2. And then you get the x and x. 2 is a difference. So find the 2 number from the 15, which has a difference of 2, which is 15 is 3 times 5, right? But 3 and 5, but I need a positive 2, so negative and positive, right? So you get the this one come out as x minus 3 times x plus 5. Okay, so I can write it as a factor form as x minus 3 times x plus 5. And the denominator, we got x squared plus 7x plus 10. So another x factor because it's trinomial. So 10 and 7, which is a sum because of 10. And then 10 has 1 times 10, which is 11. 2 times 5, which is a 7. So 2 and 5. Plus, of course. So you got x plus 2 times x plus 5. And then x plus 5 is a common factor, which is you got x minus 3 over x plus 2. You can keep the parentheses if you want, but you don't have to. And the e, okay, for the top, we just need to pull out the GCF this time because it's not special yet. So negative x come out, I got x plus 3, which is x plus 3 is not factorable. And then x squared plus 2x minus 3 is a trinomial, use a x factor. And then I have negative 3 and 2, which is, this is the difference. And then x and x, but the factor from the 3 is a 1 and 3, but I need a positive 2, so negative and positive, okay? So you got x minus 1 times x plus 3. X plus 3 cancel, I got negative x over x minus 1. So this is how you simplify the rational expressions. Okay? All right. Hope that helps.